All right, here we are live. I was just checking out a few things before I came on, and I will be trying them. I put it in the comments that I have some good news. I haven't checked this out before because usually when I come up here, I go right into a rant. This time I'll hesitate a bit. Maybe some folks will show up. Uh, but what I'm looking at doing is, according to what I was seeing, I can do my rant on Facebook the way everybody likes. And then I'm going to try later on I believe the last one was porch rant. Uh, what I'm going to do is try to upload that one later. If I successfully do that, then I can do my live rants from Facebook all the time and then upload it and keep up with my YouTube channel. So that would, I think, be preferable to a lot of you if I did things that way. All right, let's get into a few things. Uh, Sometimes I have people show up and sometimes I don't, but I feel this is important as another resource for the Blue Dot family. If we can grow this, we bring in more people into the family, and we're going to need a whole lot of folks out there getting people to get out and vote when it comes to 2020. All right. Vote blue no matter who. That's what I still am saying. Uh, Russia is gotten emboldened. If you'll recall, it was right after Donnie was in the Oval Office. It might have been before or after. I think it was before he got rid of Comey and fired Comey. Russians showed up on our coast down around Florida, close to one of uh, the Navy bases down there with a spy ship. Interesting. And then we've recently had a flyby of Alaska by Russian jets. Also interesting. And then the other day, as in the China Sea, we saw that they almost hit our ship. They are sending a message to Donnie every time they do this. And evidently, as you noticed, Donnie hasn't said a word about an almost collision that the two ships had. Why? Why is he not saying anything? Think about that one. All right. I'm still disgusted with my home state and found out a little more information on it last night. Our health director here in Missouri is Dr. Dr. Randall Williams. Okay. Strange enough that he was involved in a scandal in North Carolina with I can't even read I can't even read my writing for this, but it was an energy company. There was by the health department, there was a notice sent out to 400 people with, this is where they empty the coal ash. They have an area, it is not concrete, it is not lined with anything. And the danger was that it was getting into the groundwater sources in North Carolina. So the health department state health sent out a notice that these something like 400 wells were in danger of the water being contaminated. Along comes they hire Dr. Randall Williams, and he rescinds that warning and told them that it was probably, or it wasn't harmful to drink at all, with cancer-causing chemicals caused by cold ash. All right. And so then what happened is, guess who the health director is in the state of Missouri, hired by Gritchens, who had his own scandal and then passed it on to our present governor, Parsons. Interesting. Republicans, the R in criminal also goes for putting that behind your name if you're thinking about a party to be in. Why is it they have so many scandals? Because they don't look at things the same way. They're there to take advantage of taxpayer money, and anything else they can do dirty, you can usually count on it. It started by somebody who was surrounded with scandal, and then they hire somebody that was already in another scandal in North Carolina. He is the one that is requiring the exam and shutting down the last clinic in St. Louis for the whole state of Missouri. He's the one requiring that exam, and then the legislature came up with the 72-hour waiting period before the procedure can be done. Now, recently, he was making a big fact out. All they have to do is go across the bridge into Illinois, 12 miles, and go to that clinic. Why? Does it not dawn on that man? Well, it does. That we're talking about the whole state of Missouri having to go to St. Louis, go into Illinois to have women's health care taken care of there, which will overburden that clinic. They're having to hire more doctors, nurses, and staff to handle the expected crowds that they're expecting to have. The whole situation, I mean, is based on being hired by somebody that had to resign as governor. That's all we get out of these Republicans here, is usually criminals. And you can look back for yourself and find out why he decided to resign as governor of the state of Missouri. One was sex, and the other was stealing money from Veterans Fund. I said I wouldn't say that, but damn it, that's how damn mad this bullshit going on in this state makes me. I've had to put up with it 17 years. By the time I went for a haircut the first time in Missouri, the barber told me, you will learn in this town, the Republicans control City Hall and the City Council, and any other government agency in this town is handled by the Republicans, and they do what they want to for the moneyed interest here in the town, and to hell with the rest of the population. He said, get used to that, because that's the way it is here in Missouri. All right, let's see what else I've got. All right. I was hearing more on Michael Flynn's story. A Turkey businessman paid Flynn to lobby with the Turkish government and sat down. That man sat down with the voluntarily with the FBI and then lied to him. Why did he volunteer to sit down if he was going to lie to him? I guess he thought they wouldn't find out he was going to be lying. I do have one person that liked what I'm saying, so thank you very much. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Now that brings me back time and again to that one story because that was the second part on Rachel last night. Was the one part she did on the first night about it's this Dr. Randall Williams that has come up with the idea to traumatize these women before they can get an abortion in the state of Missouri. Just another way to try to shut them down. They have no shame. They don't care about women. But what I'm saying right now, ladies, you have a great opportunity to turn things around from the local going all the way to the top in 2020. Remember this because this is important. We need to change this state from the local up. If we don't do so, Republicans will continue to do shitty things to the people of Missouri. We will soon find out why Donnie called off the terrorists for Mexico indefinitely. Why? Because the Republicans came and has told him, have you lost your damn mind? Are you trying to make sure that we do not continue on after 2020 with controlling, I guess, the Senate? Because I still say, because of the bullshit that this man and the damage he's done to our democracy, knowing that women are over 50% of the population, I think POTUS's numbers, days, and the Senate and those remaining in Congress, days are limited. There's going to be a big blue wave of women in 2020. All right. And that leaves us with the Trump tax, too, on China. There are still families waiting. I think it was 2017 when he said he was giving $12 billion to the farmers to make up for the stupid ass tariffs he put on. Some of those farmers are still waiting for that. Not to say the thing about the 16 billion. And what's going on, folks, is this. That is trying to eliminate the family farms. Because the most of that 16 billion or the 12 billion is going to farming companies like the two crooks down in Brazil that own Smithfield. No, wait a minute. That's owned by the Chinese. JBS or something like that is Brazilian owned by these two criminals that can't even leave Brazil. And it has always bothered me. I've heard since I've been in Missouri, the biggest reason this state went Republican is farmers resented being paid not to grow crops. But yet they're ready for welfare from Donnie. Well, I think there's a whole lot of them jumping ship on him now. I don't think they have such a positive attitude. I think attitude from women is turned around on those that have voted for Donnie in 2016. will not do it again. So I have a lot of hope. And that brings us to just a little more now on Nancy Pelosi. Is a disgrace, Donnie? Are you shitting me? She's a disgrace? And then Fox getting out there spewing that what is this, a banana republic when Nancy is going after Trump? Like I said, I've always said this. This is projection. Fox is doing the same thing Donnie does every day. Donnie is tearing people down and calling them political enemies. And then Sean Hannity throws it back on the Democrats. All because Nancy said she would rather see him in prison. I think there's a hell of a lot of us blue dots that want to see his ass in prison too. But now, see, they want to throw that back on the Democrats. Uh, and he's out there calling her disgrace. She's nasty. She's the nervous Nancy and all this right in front of the graveyard for the fallen. And nobody on the Republican side sees a problem with that. You can watch the same interview with Nancy, and she would not say anything negative and said she would not do that on foreign soil. Dumbass doesn't care what he says, or let's face it, he was dragging his family around like a tin pot dictator. And that's how I feel about him. That's what he is. Just think of the taxpayer dollars we had to pay for his grown children to be there in the UK and in France. They had no business being there. That's just to show they are going to be the royal family of the United States. Look at the secession down after Donnie is gone. The question is, will it be Ivanka being queen first, and then Don Jr., and then the butthead Eric, and on down the line till they run out of family members? Of course, then the next generation will take over. Oh, well, I'll say one thing. This man gives me a reason to get up every day. I get up fired up, and that's the best way to do a rant is be fired up. And I'm fired up every day, people. Now it looks like we've got one like and 2 people watching. I moved everything over, made it smaller for this rant where I can see more in the comment column. So if you want to speak up, got a question for me, go ahead and do so. I'm going to wind this one down in a few minutes. Let's see. Okay, I already covered all that. I've got quite a few Blue Dot friends that I want to thank. They are also very helpful when it comes to doing my rant. There's a lot of information they provide. It saves me a hell of a lot of time. So I can watch my programs and mix in their memes, get those out there. And it also allows me to go off of stories. I'm working on one now that I can't share it. So what I'm going to do is go through, read it, and make my notes, and then I can present it in a rant in the near future. Ooh, excuse me. All of a sudden, I got the burps. All right. I'll let everybody go. Like I said, in a while, what I'm going to do is go back to one of my other rants and try to upload it. And that way, It seems to be more acceptable that I do it on Facebook. We're going to see if that works. I'll do a live Facebook the next time I rant, probably Monday, unless something major happens. Big piece of shit hits the fan before Monday, then I might be on. Basically, Sunday, I'm looking forward to the Blue Dot family meeting. So, uh, have a wonderful, it's beautiful outside here in Kirksville. Uh, we didn't get the rain we had been getting every day. We've been hit with heavy storms, sometimes thunder and lightning, but mostly just heavy rain, big drops. I felt like we were lucky the last two times that we didn't have hail with these storms. But I'll let you go. That's another subject that I want to get into. Uh, Next time will be climate change and the stupid people we have that want to make climate change an opportunity to squeeze more out of Mother Earth so that they can make money before the whole planet turns on us and kills us. Exciting kind of stuff. You know, these big companies and oligarchs making a lot of money so that your children, grandchildren, and their children and grandchildren won't have a planet to be on. All right, I'll let you go. Peace, resist, persist, and insist that we get this fascist government out of our house. I love my country. People, share this shit. And I'll see you later. Bye bye.